Terapia de Balea. So in this, it feels like a documentary. Just the way it is cut together, sort of documentary style, and allows you to see dynamics of each of these couples. In this format, really gives you a sense of the varying differences from one couple to another. Just in things as simple as the body language. You'll go from one couple and they're sitting really close to each other, and and there's like a levity to it, and you go to another couple, they're on either opposite ends of the couch, trying their hardest not to even look in each other's direction. It was really interesting to see the couples together versus in their individual sessions too. Um, and to see some of the reoccurring issues that plague several couples, although each were very different, they represented different demographics and had different backgrounds and um different experiences. It was really highly personal to look into each of their stories. And I liked how they used the comparison of the various romance scenes from the films. It provided sort of an anchor and a timeline that guided us from one major relationship milestone to another, so that we would experience it in this film and then go ahead and see how it was experienced in real life.
Couples therapy. I really, really liked this. I thought that this did a lot of really interesting things where not only did you follow these different couples that have, different problems in their relationship, they've been in a relationship for a different amount of times with different, like, levels of commitment almost. Uh, and not only were you following them, but you also had an insight to the therapists themselves trying this new, or trying this kind of pilot program, or this kind of new way of approaching couples therapy, which I thought was really, really interesting. I really liked that you kind of got not only to see the progress and see what was happening with the actual couples, but you also got a little bit of the insight from the therapists themselves, which I thought was really, really fascinating. And I think it lent itself really well because they were, trying out this, kind of different approach that has had success in other countries, but, hasn't really been tried there. So I really, like I said, I really liked that you got the different types of perspective. Um, so my dad is a marriage and family therapist. That's what he does. And so I thought that this was really, really fascinating. I liked that they addressed, childhood and how much impact that has in your adult relationships, not just, relationships with other people, but relationships with yourself, and, how they kind of had everybody reflect on kind of what they thought couples counseling or couples therapy was before they started it, and then kind of at the end of the process, the 6 months, and what their kind of takeaways were at the end. I like that you kind of got the comparison or the reflection. And then I loved that they had, and then another 6 months without the intensive therapy, where the couples were, just kind of released, and, they'd, completed the trial, but then to see what they could do themselves and how their relationships changed afterwards, I thought was great as well. Which I thought, again, gave a really, really well-rounded look at the program, how it worked, with not just only looking at it during the 6 months where you can see the change, but you're also being guided by a therapist. You're also, having somebody there with you to also getting this kind of check-in or update 6 months after that's kind of ended. I thought was fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. Overall, I thought it was really, really well done. I think they gave a really good representation of what they were trying to pilot and what this type of couples therapy really is like, and the success that they had, which I thought was really amazing.
This film is called Couples Therapy. This was a fabulous doc. I learned so much about relationship therapy from both the therapists and the couples themselves. The film does an excellent job charting their progress. The fabulous editing allowed the viewer to see minor breakthroughs over time. I also really enjoyed watching the couple walking by beautiful historical architecture, discussing their philosophies of what love is and the elements of successful relationships. The multicolor CGI figures at the beginning of each section were quite clever and memorable. The light jazz music under the interviews kept the film calm, peaceful, and lovely, which matched the overall goal of therapy, to have a more harmonious relationship. Great job. Couples Therapy. Check it out.